Polkadot, in my opinion, has one of the richest ecosystems in the entire Web3 space. Today, I want to explore 5 Polkadot projects or altcoins that I think you should be paying attention to in 2024. We're going to be starting off with the smallest project, sitting at around a $3.4 million market cap, all the way up to a $940 million market cap project. So strap yourselves in, guys, and without further ado, let's dive into these 5 Polkadot projects that I think have some pretty huge potential. The first project that we're going to be talking about is Pendulum, sitting at a $3.4 million market cap. I believe Pendulum has been massively underlooked. So what is Pendulum? Well, Pendulum is effectively Forex on the blockchain, and it does this by utilizing the Polkadot infrastructure. So Pendulum has built a bridge from Stellar Lumens to Polkadot called Spacewalk to bring fiat currencies of a varied kind to the crypto space. Through the Spacewalk bridge from Stellar to Pendulum, the entire Polkadot ecosystem, because of XCM, which is the kind of interoperability protocol built into the Polkadot infrastructure, can benefit from a basket of fiat currencies and thus liquidity. Pendulum can bring Stellar's rich fiat ecosystem to the entire crypto space via Polkadot. So this is huge because this makes Polkadot's ecosystem one of the richest for fiat currencies and also liquidity as a result of this. On top of this, Pendulum can improve in the real world cross-border payments for not only institutions, but also for individuals. It also offers a new way to use fiat currencies in the DeFi space and farming opportunities. So Pendulum, I think, is a very underlooked project that has a real world use case, and on top of that brings a lot of liquidity and variety and flavors to the Polkadot space as a whole, and thus the wider Web3. The next altcoin that I want to talk to you guys about is Bifrost. Now, we recently did a video that we'll leave a link in the description section where we looked at liquid staking, and liquid staking on Polkadot hasn't really taken off yet. However, liquid staking makes up the volume of value locked within the DeFi space, with Lido having around about $24 billion in TVL. That is by far the largest project in regards to DeFi. Polkadot is yet to really see a liquid staking boom, and I think Bifrost is very well positioned to capitalize on that. Bifrost has a larger market cap than Pendulum, but only sitting at $16.1 million. And I think this potentially could go up significantly when people start to utilize it. And there is every reason to utilize Bifrost's liquid staking services. So the interesting thing specifically with Polkadot is it has a 28-day lockup period when people want to stake their Polkadot to validators. Bifrost essentially steps in and takes care of all of this, and it gives you in return a receipt token essentially that you can then sell, farm with, stake again, and do whatever it is you want with it. So this is the whole concept of liquid staking. You can stake, but you can have a receipt that is redeemable one-to-one for the token that you can do whatever the hell it is you want to do. This is great for people that want to get out of a position, that want to get the most out of their Polkadot staking. And ultimately, just like we've seen with Lido, I believe Bifrost is going to see a huge uptick in TVL and also bring a lot of opportunity to the entire Polkadot ecosystem. The current dot staking rate on Bifrost is 18.16%. And you can also get farming APYs on top of this. Bifrost not only offers liquid staking for Polkadot, but it also offers liquid staking for the likes of Kusama, Ethereum, Filecoin, Moonbeam, Bifrost, which of course is their token, Moonriver, and a star staking, making it useful for not just Polkadot, but the entire Polkadot ecosystem, and it increases liquidity and farming potential across the board. This is what I mean. Polkadot literally has everything, guys. They are the furthest ahead on this multi-chain model and thus have one of, if not the richest ecosystems in the entire crypto space. This project is massively under-recognized and underutilized in my opinion, and it's certainly a project to watch in 2024. The next project that I want to introduce is Falla Network. Now, many of you may not have heard of Falla Network, and many of you may not be familiar with this idea of decentralized computing, but I think this is going to be one of the biggest opportunities, the biggest sectors in the crypto space deep in that there is. I'm going to be doing a video on that tomorrow where it's just going to be me and the cameras talking about it in more of a detailed perspective. So as of the time of recording, Falla Network sits at a $72 million market cap. And I think that when this whole idea of deep-in really takes off, Falla Network, being well positioned on the Polkadot space, is going to be a huge beneficiary of this. There is one slight concern I have with Falla Network that I am hoping to address very soon, and that is the tokens held. I think it's one wallet holds, according to Etherscan, just under 80% of the overall tokens. This is something that I will address and look for more clarity on, but it's worth me mentioning that. So what essentially is Falla Network? Well, Falla Network is a decentralized computing network that would fall into the category of DeepIn, decentralized physical infrastructure. We are moving towards a completely digital world, and a lot of the computing that comes with this will not be done in-house, but via cloud computing. Right now, a handful of large companies in the United States have the monopoly on cloud computing, which is leading us down a very dangerous path of techno-feudalism. We spoke about techno-feudalism a number of times on the channel. Decentralized money is of the utmost importance because of the shenanigans the central banks pull and how they ultimately manipulate the masses via the creation of money. And actually, I believe that decentralized computing is going to become a commodity, and it is of parallel or similar importance. Again, in the future that we are moving towards, I believe computing will literally become a commodity just like oil and be the lubrication for the system that we are moving towards. Decentralized computing systems offer a basket of benefits. Of course, cost is one. It's often cheaper to use a decentralized computing system than it is the likes of Amazon Web Services or whatever it may be. It is also more secure in many cases, and of course, a really important one, censorship resistant. Distributed ledger technologies are all about decentralization, and actually something as big as the cloud computing market needs to be decentralized. It is of the utmost importance, and we are fully behind these deep-in systems that we believe can give us a way out of this monopolized sort of computing world that we currently exist in. And actually, deep-in is massively important. If you look at a lot of blockchain infrastructure, it actually runs on institutional software, institutional hardware, I should say, probably more importantly. And ultimately, you know, these deep-in plays, these deep-in projects are looking to change that in the true ethos of the entire space. So the next one that I want to talk to you guys about, which is, in my opinion, exceptionally important also, is Origin Trails. Now, Origin Trails is kind of a new paradigm in the cryptocurrency space, and we see this idea of actually being able to tokenize knowledge and thus verify it. And we're going to talk about why that's so important, but let's look at where the market cap of Origin Trails currently sits. So Origin Trails is a $252 million project, and I think this project is going to do exceptionally well. It is something I've personally invested in, as well as some of the others. I haven't invested in all of these projects just because I already have a very large portfolio, but these are definitely projects you guys can go and do your due diligence on and decide whether they're for you or not. What is Origin Trails? Well, Origin Trails is essentially a way to verify data via storing data as an asset. They have something called a knowledge graph, which in time will become similar to Google once it's grown, search. The only difference is we will be able to know the source of this information because it is stored on the blockchain. Blockchains have loads of applications. This idea of a distributed ledger, it was Hal Finney himself, which is why I think Bitcoin maxis are so confused, that actually said Bitcoin is a global database. There's many applications for a global database, not just money. And this, of course, is going to be of the utmost importance in regards to the world that we're moving towards. If you look at AI models, they essentially aggregate data and they constantly learn as a result of continued input of data. The problem with AI right now, sometimes it will hallucinate, and you need provenance, you need trackability, the origins of the data that's being inputted, so that you can essentially more accurately create these models and thus have them a lot more truthful and accurate. And also, if you look at the election year coming up, deepfakes and kind of digital distortions are going to play a big role, perhaps in elections going forward. And actually, Origin Trails can step in and provide a solution to that. You can essentially verify and track where information has come from that will give it a degree of believability. So again, with the world that we are moving towards, which I believe is either going to be a technological utopia or probably a dystopia, the need for verifiable, traceable data is of the utmost importance. The elections in the future can and will be influenced using false information, and this is one issue that Origin Trails can help us with. There are many others. Also, it does seem that Google have taken a real interest in this project, and they have already rolled out solutions across multiple different countries. So this is definitely, in my opinion, a project to watch in 2024. It's certainly one that I already hold, and I'm expecting big things for. I think this is going to be a real narrative. And I got just as excited about looking at Origin Trails as I did back in 2018 at Chainlink. So the next project that I am going to be talking about is a star. We did a video recently talking about a star. But a star is a cryptocurrency that did very, very well for me for an investment point of view last year. Let's start off with the market cap of a star, which is the largest cryptocurrency that we are looking at via market cap today. It sits at a $946 million market cap. Quite a large market, but for a layer one that's doing as much as these guys are doing, you know, it's rather understandable and has plenty of room to grow. So let's talk about what a star is. So a star is one of the prominent layer ones on Polkadot. A star is Japan's leading blockchain, and we've seen them actually work with the Japanese government, and we've seen Sota, who is the founder, actually rub shoulders with many of the officials. It supports EVM, Substrate, WebAssembly, which essentially is WASM, which is a native Web 2 language, and this is what Star's all about, bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 by making it easy for builders in the Web 2 space, which is the largest pool of developers, to essentially onboard into the Web 3 space. It also supports Inc., making it one of the most developer-friendly blockchains about, period. One of the biggest barriers to builders in the crypto space is the languages that are used, and this is where a Star's approach, I think, is really golden. So right now it has over 50 dApps currently built on it, and around about 500,000 plus community members. And the interesting thing about dApps built on top of a Star is they can get helped by the Star stakers that will essentially choose to delegate and support their project, and they'll get funded as a result of this. It's really cool and an interesting concept. So we did do a hell of a longer video on this, but we've seen a Star actually win the incubation program or become a part of the incubation program at Sony Networks. We've also seen Sony Networks directly invest, I think it was $3.5 million in a Star's parent company, Startail, which is essentially like the consensus to Ethereum. They've also partnered with Toyota, and they've made a real impact in Japan. A Star currently runs on Ethereum, Polkadot, Cosmos, and more networks, and is also looking to become an Ethereum scaling solution, Ethereum layer 2 as well, and they've actually partnered up with Polygon to do this. They're also backed by Binance Labs and Coinbase Ventures, and many, many others. Too many to mention, but a Star, in my opinion, is one of the most prominent layer ones on the Polkadot ecosystem, and I think it's going to do very, very well. So there we have it, guys. They are the 5 Polkadot projects, altcoins, that we wanted to highlight for you guys in 2024. We are going to be doing deep dives into each and every one of these individual projects, but this was just kind of an introduction to get these onto your radar, and to kind of, I guess, demonstrate as well at the same time just how rich Polkadot's ecosystem is. And we've only spoken about 5 projects on Polkadot. There are over 50 at this point, and there are going to be hundreds and thousands in the future. So big things coming for Polkadot. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. If you've enjoyed the content, like is appreciated, so is a comment, and I hope to see you all in the next YouTube video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.